In this next season of your life, you probably have to think through what's going to bring you a paycheck. But have you thought about what's going to bring you a playcheck? Something that really fulfills you, that brings meaning to you, but also brings life and meaning to other people. As I work with people over the last 20 years, I've worked with plenty of leaders in transition. I realize that most haven't thought about this idea of, might this be your season to build a spiritually alive business? What I mean by a spiritually alive business is the kind of business that doesn't burn you out, that gives you flexibility, but really brings purpose, meaning, impact to other people. And while doing that, brings incredible fulfillment to you. And I know a big pushback I get is, will I have the time? Will I have the energy? What would I do? And so I thought I would just make a video to address that, because in working with too many people, because they haven't made a decision, they just kind of float. And it's not that vacation isn't awesome, but you can't just sit on a beach forever and feel like this is why God has created you. What would it look like for you to build a spiritually alive business in this season of your life? And maybe if you haven't retired yet, have a vision to retire on purpose, to move towards something that is both meaningful for you and fulfilling for you, life-giving and energizing, flexible, and that makes an impact, maybe even an eternal impact, one that builds into a legacy that will endure forever. 3 keys to think about as you consider what might be your spiritually significant business, even if you haven't built a business before. So number 1 is it aligns with purpose. And there's a sense that what you're doing is actually something that is joy-giving, but also has an impact that includes you, but goes beyond you. And sometimes that is by asking yourself questions like, what bugs me that doesn't bug other people? If I had all the time and money in the world and God said, do this, what would I do? In the Bible, in Proverbs, it says, without vision, people perish. If you're in this transition, consider, what is the vision that you have that could solve a problem or bring meaning, purpose, breakthrough for other people that you almost wouldn't need to get paid for? It really would be a paycheck because it would feel fun to you. And it's been fun watching some people in this season that I've worked with decide, now's the time I'm going to write a book. Now's the time I'm going to coach and work and mentor other younger people to do some things where I wish I'd had someone do that for me. Maybe it's your time to consult, go to the industry that you've been involved with, and be able to give back and enjoy helping them. The second thing is not only purpose, but how can this business align with your proficiencies? How can it align with the gifts that you've really been given? And one of the things is, a lot of times we think, I don't have all the gifts to build a business. I don't have all the gifts to do this or that. But in the Bible, it clearly says that God was intentional about giving you gifts. In fact, in Ephesians, it says that we're God's workmanship, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God planned in advance for us to do. In other words, you and what you've been given haven't been a mistake. The things that you've learned, maybe even the challenges and the dark nights of the soul that you've come through, weren't a mistake, but they've been equipping you. And so if you have gifts of writing, that's been given to you by God. If you've got gifts to speak, might this be your season to speak and share a vision, maybe on YouTube, maybe on stages, maybe in churches. But those gifts and proficiencies can be brought out now, and maybe you don't need to get paid to use them. This can be your season to offer them generously, or you may make more money now than you ever dreamed of and be able to give generously, help others, do what the kind of things we're doing, building a retreat place. But you can use those gifts to serve others. And finally, the third key to building a spiritually significant business, prosperity. And prosperity doesn't always involve money, though it can, and oftentimes we need money to do a lot of things. But what does it look like to have a business that is prosperous because it's energizing and blessing you and the people around you? I mean, imagine a business that opens up new markets or brings the message of the good news to other places in the world. And this can be a season of your life where you create that kind of prosperity. In Psalms, it says, even when I'm old and gray, oh God, do not abandon me. And a lot of times people think, well, I'm old and gray now I just kind of am abandoned. This might be your time for prosperity to flow through you because you really do have wisdom. And by maintaining your health, guarding your own energy, and doing things that bring you life, you're going to bring prosperity to your family, prosperity to others, and maybe multiply that. So as you think about those things, what does it look like for you to retire on purpose? And if you're already retired, now take this time to step back and ask, is there a bigger purpose that God has called me to now? And maybe doing it with your spouse or doing it with your family. What are the things, the proficiencies, the gifts that you've been given? And then third, what does it look like to really live with that kind of abundance and prosperity and bless other people through your work? Anyway, drop a note below if you've thought about this or what you are doing. I'd love to hear from you.